Hello, Siren. Welcome back to Siren Theory, where women answer the call to write, speak, and shape culture so that together we will heal the world. On today's episode, we are talking about social media as katabasis and how social media is the digital afterlife of women. Now, we have a lot to cover, but before we get into it, I need you to hit the like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you never miss a Siren Theory episode. And also, all of our episodes come out a lot earlier on sirentheory.substack.com, so subscribe there if you want earlier access to all of our episodes. And also, I have free resources in the description below. I have a free masterclass on Thought Leadership 101 that will help you step into your identity as a thought leader if you are feeling called to share your thoughts, knowledge, and vibes with others. There's also a one-day brand kit so that there is no more friction, there's no more excuse. You can start your thought leadership journey tomorrow if you wanted to. So yeah, let's get into it. I'm scrolling on TikTok, as I often do, and I come across this video of a woman delivering a hot take. And the video's gotten tens of thousands of likes, hundreds of comments, and the caption, "If you know me in real life, no, you don't." And it reads like a tongue-in-cheek disclaimer, but psychically, it's an obituary. If you know me in real life, no, you don't. This statement signals the split that women who create online must make. The burial of a private self so that a digital persona may surface. It's the severance of the self to create on different platforms. This is not just influencing. It is ritual, death, and rebirth. The myth of Inanna represents the katabasis of women who dare to share their voices, and how today's social media landscape is our digital afterlife, wherein we grapple with the multiple facets of our identity, strengthen our resolve as writers, and emerge bearing the authority that only comes from surviving dissent and returning to tell the tale. If anyone from real life comes across their online persona, many women fear that they will be misunderstood, or worse, shamed. And this fear is far from unfounded. This fear is valid. A canon event for most budding creatives is being mocked, gossiped about, or otherwise cut down by their peers and their so-called friends. The people that they went to school with, or were their coworkers, or are still their coworkers, the people closest to them. This is a canon event, and I don't know a single woman creator who has not experienced this, myself included. There is something about seeing a woman trying in public that provokes discomfort, and often envy. As Ali Kriegsmith writes, women hate women who go for what they want, and will collectively punish a woman who tries to and succeeds at attaining more than others. And if anyone needs a source for this, kindly ask any woman who is actively going for what she wants. And the harsh truth is that it is often other women who act on this envy through snide remarks, or reputational damage, or sabotage, or backhanded compliments. They police one another's visibility. Evolutionary psychology suggests that this behavior may be linked to the fine-tuned social intelligence women developed for in-group competition and alliance building. What was once adaptive for survival now manifests in subtle but cutting forms of reputation destruction. This is the first part of the descent, passing through the gates of judgment. And as we get deeper, each gate demands a sacrifice. Like Inanna stripping off her jewels and garments in the underworld, the creative woman must also surrender her illusions of freedom from perception, because she will absolutely be perceived. So she has to shed that hope that she will not be perceived. Her longing to be universally liked, you gotta get rid of that too. Her hope that everyone will understand what she means. You will absolutely be misunderstood, so you gotta let go of that too. Each layer removed brings her closer to the truth of her voice. The gossip, the envy, the published critiques, the TikTok stitches, the YouTube reactions, these are not signs that she is failing. They are proof that she is entering the underworld, where the old self must die so that the new one can rise. And to endure this stage, you have to understand that judgment is not the end of the journey, but the initiation into the afterlife. it's only just beginning. Sociologist Irving Goffman, in the presentation of self in everyday life, described how people manage impressions like actors on a stage, presenting different versions of themselves depending on the audience. And today, social media platforms are not just different audiences, but different theaters, each demanding a different mask. For example, TikTok is the feral self. It's chaotic, humorous, unfiltered. And Instagram is the curated self. It's polished, palatable, and aspirational. Substack is the intimate self. It's where words carry the weight of our interiority. It's closer to a diary or a letter. And YouTube is the portfolio self. It's the archival record. It's more permanent and it's more authoritative. It creates a longer lasting perception. If you're creating in any or all of these platforms, each fragment of you that is portrayed on these platforms, each fragment is real, but together they don't form a cohesive whole because ultimately your online self is a curation of your whole self. In short, your online self is a curation of a curation. Instead, they reveal the digital compartmentalization of identity. Sherry Turkle predicted this shift that online life would encourage multiplicity of the self rather than integration. If traditionally identity implied oneness, life on today's computer screen implies multiplicity and heterogeneity. To thrive on each platform, one must abide by the culture of the platform. And this may look like having to split ourselves into different personalities, but as a Siren initiate, you are best served knowing that you don't need to split yourself because you're already multifaceted. To exist and perform and be perceived on these online platforms, all you need to do is hold up a mirror to the one facet of your whole being. And through creation, you nurture that one facet. You hold a light to her, you buff her, you make her shine. Severance is optional and absolutely not recommended. Murder, however. In 1931, Virginia Woolf told a room of women professionals that to write honestly, she had to kill the angel in the house. And this angel in the house is the Victorian feminine ideal who whispered that a woman must always be pleasing, charming, self-sacrificing. If Woolf did not kill her, she said, the angel would have killed her writing. I turned upon her and caught her by the throat. I did my best to kill her. My excuse, if I were to be had up in a court of law, would be that I acted in self-defense. Had I not killed her, she would have killed me. She would have plucked the heart out of my writing. Our iron grip on who we think our real-life persona is, that's our proverbial angel in the house. For our creative efforts to survive, women must kill off one angel after another, sacrificing parts of ourselves to inhabit our new persona. And this is the life-death life cycle described by Clarissa Pinkola Estes in Women Who Run with the Wolves. Creativity, she argues, requires constant death and rebirth. What feels like failure or loss is in fact the natural shedding of skins so that something truer can emerge. So, how exactly are we dying whenever we create on social media? Here's the multiple deaths of the online creator. Number one is showing up online. That is the death of your in real life persona. And the second is showing up on multiple platforms. That is the death of the whole self persona and the severance into different personas. Although I already told you that the severance is absolutely optional. What you can do is to hold a light up to that one facet of your being that you want to project on that one platform. And the third is evolving as a creator. This is a series of deaths, aka rebrands. And as someone who has done a couple of rebrands as a content creator, it does feel like death sometimes. But every rebrand brings me closer to realizing what I am here to do as a creator. And these deaths, they're not meaningless. Like the myth of Inanna's descent, the Sumerian goddess who passes through the underworld stripped of every layer before rebirth, our digital selves demand surrender before resurrection. Creators are stripped of a singular identity, surrendering the manner in which they are perceived. They volunteer to die again and again through evolution and rebranding. But from this stripping, and sometimes the humiliation that comes with it, the cringe, from all of this emerges cultural power, clarity and purpose, and meaningful reach. Okay, so why are we doing this again? Well, it's because I don't know. I'm here and you're here because we both received the call. Queen Inanna, the Queen of Light, was a strong, successful, well respected leader. She had been living in comfort and luxury, certain of her place in the world, until one day she heard a whisper calling her to the underworld. This call from the blue mystified her, and she ignored it. But like anything that is ignored, that call simply became louder and louder. And so we answered the call, but now we can't quit until we have done our best to share our talents, gifts, and knowledge with others. We started sharing, and in doing so, we felt this pull, that feeling that tells you that you're on the right track. Even when no one is clapping yet, even when no one is celebrating you yet. We felt that we're on the right track when reading others' comments on our content that we have created, things that we created for our past selves that would have helped us get through situations. And that content is now helping others who are going through similar situations get through it and emerge from it a better person, a healed person, a happy person. We get messages in the DMs, in emails telling us how we have changed their lives for the better, all because we decided to share what was in our hearts. And this is why we keep going, because the work is bigger than us, because something inside us refuses to keep quiet and hidden and small, because showing up imperfect, evolving, sometimes afraid, and always willing to die in a psychic sense, and always fighting the cringe, that in itself is an act of devotion. That in itself is an act of revolution. And maybe it's also because we're both on this quest to get to know ourselves, to find out who we really are. Part of the heroine's quest is to find her work in the world, which enables her to find her identity. It is important for a woman to know that she can survive without dependence on parents or others so that she can express her heart, mind, and soul. Okay, but I'm also really scared of dying though. Well, the death doesn't have to be permanent. The life or death life rhythm of creative women assures us of that. You will always be reborn. During the descent, like both Demeter and Inanna, she will bear no fruit, no product. If she can allow the descent to be a mindful initiation, she need not become lost in the dark. We create not only as an exercise in intellectual and financial freedom. We create to survive, to witness ourselves, to leave traces that say we were here. And most of all, we create to be reborn again and again through the work of our own hands and minds. The digital world is our underworld, our afterlife. It's where we recognize our identities as women as cyclical, not static. Here we learn how rebranding, pivoting, going viral, and then disappearing all are part of the life, death, life rhythm of creativity. Showing up online feels like death because it is. But for creative women, death is not the end. It is the beginning of another life. And in the meantime, we will see each other in hell. That's all I have for you today. I just wanted to let you know that you can share your knowledge, thoughts, and vibes with others, and together we will heal the world. And if you would like to step into your identity as a thought leader, I have a free masterclass below called Thought Leadership 101. And I also created a free one-day branding kit to help you start your thought leadership today. No more excuses. With all that being said, answer the call siren. Thank you so much. Bye.